It looks like the Sand People did this all right. Look, there's gaffy sticks, bantha tracks. It's just, I've never heard of them hitting anything this big before.
They didn't, but we are meant to think they did. These tracks are side by side. Sand People always ride single file to hide their numbers.
These are the same Jawas that sold us R2 and 3PO.
And these blast points, too accurate for Sand People. Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
But why would Imperial troops want to slaughter Jawas?
So in my previous videos in this series on false flags and helping to use examples in the entertainment business to maybe hopefully help people to identify false flags as they occur in real life. The first video I did was about an episode of X-Men, about how in that episode a completely fake act of violence is perpetuated in order to sway people's opinion. The second video I did was about Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and in that video I talked about how acts of violence are actually permitted to happen in order to paint a narrative and, you know, to twist the facts in order to deceive people. So this time I want to use Star Wars, and everybody knows Star Wars. If you don't, I just can't believe it. So in A New Hope, as it was later, you know, as it was later came to be known, I'm talking about the very, very first Star Wars movie. Okay, now in this movie, the stormtroopers are hunting down C-3PO and R2-D2, and they want to cover their tracks. So, in this pretty well-known scene, Luke Skywalker and Ben Kenobi come across the scene of the crime. So here we have seen the stormtroopers, they slaughter Jawas, trying to look for the droids to recover the Death Star plans. And in order to hopefully kind of cover their tracks, they make it look like the Sand People did it. So here, Luke Skywalker says, well, it looks like Sand People did this alright. Look, here are gaffy sticks, bantha tracks. It's just I had never heard of them hitting anything this big before. So Ben Kenobi, he knows what to look for, and you know he's a pretty smart guy, and certainly not someone who would be watching Tatooine CNN, that's for sure. And he says they didn't, but we are meant to think they did. These tracks are side by side. Sand People always ride single file to hide their numbers. And then this is when Luke realizes these are the same Jawas that sold us R2 and 3PO. And Ben Kenobi continues, and these blast points, too accurate for Sand People. Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. So Sand People, they probably have just kind of primitive weapons, and you know they can shoot, but maybe they're not really that adept at shooting. It's funny because there's people would always criticize this movie, saying that stormtroopers are inept and they can't shoot anything. But any real Star Wars nerd worth his worth, he would point out, well, actually on the Death Star, the stormtroopers were commanded by Darth Vader to corral the heroes of the movie into the Millennium Falcon so that they can try to, you know, allow them to escape so they can track the Falcon to the Rebel base, because he was unable to get that information from Princess Leia through torture. So, yeah. Anyhow, Ben Kenobi, he sees that the blast points on the Sandcrawler are a bit too accurate. They knew where to hit to disable the Sandcrawler. And this is at this point when Luke Skywalker realizes, but why would Imperial troops want to slaughter Jawas? And then it kind of dawns on him, oh wait, crap. This means that they've tracked the droids to this tribe of Jawas, which means that they probably know where his home is. So, you know, the rest of the movie, I'm sure everybody knows that, but what I want to do is just really focus on this here, is the stormtroopers, they would lead people to believe that it was just these sand people who, you know, the Tusken Raiders, that they just, you know, decided to just kill a bunch of Jawas for no good reason. And you gotta be smart. You gotta realize, wait, you know, what's the motive? Why would they do this? And then you look at how it actually was carried out. It was a little bit too professional for a bunch of, you know, desert scavengers. So quite often we are given stuff in the news to make it, you know, the narrative tells us, well, so and so did this for this reason, and you gotta really just think about it. You know, like this that Russian journalist or whatever. You know, what purpose? Or what, there was a Russian journalist, and then there was also that Russian guy who was killed in England. You know, what is the motive? What would they have to gain for this kind of thing? Or, you know, for example, Assad in Syria. Really, when you're so far ahead, why would you just do something random like this for no good reason? Just think. Stuff is done to blame other people. And actually, I've been meaning to do this video for at least a week or so now, and then this whole bomb package thing came along in the mail, in the news, with all these bombs that were mailed to all of these high-profile people, and they were all delivered simultaneously somehow, and immediately then there are these editorials in newspapers and such that are ready to go, and it's just a little bit too well timed. It's just kind of a little bit unbelievable, especially when the stamps on the packages were not even really stamped, you know, with the ink stamps. So yeah, think critically for yourself. Don't just be swayed by what the fake news industrial complex, the fake news media would have you believe. So I guess that's about it I can say for this for now. I'll try to come up with some other examples on some movies and shows and whatnot to kind of illustrate some critical thinking. So thanks for watching.